Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have a message coming to you which is all around attraction, around relationships. So if you have been somebody who has struggled with the quality of relationships that you've been creating, or maybe you just kind of feel kind of crazy about who you might be attracted to, this is going to be a message for you. And the purpose of what I want to share with you guys, as usual, is to always empower you with awareness, self-awareness, with different ways and frameworks of looking at why we do what we do, how we operate, and definitely empowering ourselves in our ability to actually analyze that, right? And our ability to actually take control over the designing of our lives. And in particular for today's message, again, we're going back to relationships. And the reason is because I really do believe if we can master this realm of our lives, our relationships, it will absolutely overflow into every other area of our lives, all right? So it's one of the best possible areas we can ever hope to really master. And today's a fun topic. I think, I don't know many people who don't like discussing the topic of attraction and what really drives it. And actually today I want to give you maybe a perspective you've never heard of before. I'm going to be incorporating not just kind of our theory and talking about, up on the surface level, what could be going on. I'm actually going to intertwine this with some of our biology. I'm going to talk about the nervous system. I'm going to talk about trauma in particular. And I'm going to, and I want you to think about trauma as something that every single human being walking the face of the planet, you and me included, we've all got these traumatic experiences that we have either just continued to collect over time, which is very, very normal. And some of us have done some work to do some healing on those. And I would say as well that some of us have had much more of a traumatic impact imprinted on us than others. So this is going to be a huge one. Like the more traumatic the experiences that have impacted you through your existence, and again, every single human being walking the face of the planet has had traumatic experiences happening to them. But dependent on the impact and the imprint of those traumas on you, which is clarified, from a subjective perspective. It's not about, that's a much more traumatic experience that this person has experienced than me. It's actually the subjective, how it's impacted you on an individual note. So it's not about what we judge as more traumatic than others or less traumatic than others. It's actually the imprint on the individual, all right? So I just want to say that from the get-go because you might have experienced something as I have, which has been kind of diminishing and depleting my own personal journey in comparison to other people's traumatic experiences. And, albeit that there can be some truth on that conscious level, because some people have had some really terrible and horrific experiences in their lives, but it doesn't serve you on an individual level. And the reason is because you negate those traumatic experiences, and therefore you don't put the onus on yourself to actually heal from them. You don't realize the impact that they're having on you. And basically, that can really, really prevent us from the areas of growth that we most require in our lives. All right, so let's get into it. So as you're tuning in, I want you to definitely drop me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I want to hear from you. I want to co-create this space with you. So I would love, love, love to hear your words of wisdom, your experiences, any questions that you have, anything that you feel called will contribute to the conversation. I absolutely love connecting with you guys. So healing trauma will change who you're attracted to. All right, that's what we're talking about today. And so I want to break this down on a really interesting level. So come on this journey with me. I hope you find it as fascinating as I do. And I want to firstly start with the fact that attraction, I like to categorize into these 4 different areas, right? I feel like all of our lives can be categorized into these 4 areas of intelligence, and attraction is no different. So we can have attraction in our physical realm of our lives, right? That's an easy one. We can have attraction based on our emotions, like emotional attraction. Can this person meet me, meet my needs emotionally? We can also have attraction on a mental realm, right? Like, can we pitch and catch and discuss like really interesting topics that we're both fascinated by? And finally, in a spiritual realm, how is our relationship and what we co-create together actually, impacting the world at like contributing to the world in some way? All right. And there's different aspects of that as well. So just to give you that quick overview, like I want to look at attraction in the 4 areas of intelligence. It's not just the physical, which is most of us relying upon, right? It's also the emotional, it's also the mental, and it's also the spiritual. And I will also say that sometimes we can break this down even further between men and women, and there can be different hierarchies in this as well. So tends to be, and you might have heard of this, that maybe the more physical realm is the initial for the more male predominant or testosterone dominant people in this world, and on the and more on the feminine, it tends to be the hierarchy might be a little bit more geared towards the emotional. But we have all of those realms. We all want to be physically attracted, we all want to be emotionally attracted, we all want to be mentally attracted, and we all want to be spiritually attracted. And if you can get all of that in a partner, then you're winning, right? So that's what I wanted to start with. Now, let's get to the aspect of trauma. Now, I want to gear this conversation, this particular conversation, down the realm of attraction depending on the health and the healing of the individual. All right. So this conversation could revolutionize your life and your relationships if you understand on this level that we're going to talk about why you might be attracted to the certain people. And this is a particularly key one for those of you who feel like you're attracted to the wrong kind of people, right? Like the people who just can't seem to give you what you want in relationship, and you wonder why you can't just be attracted to the ones who will meet your needs and who will meet you on those levels. All right. And so this is going to give you the key to make any shifts and changes in yourself that will allow you to co-create the highest quality of relationship externally. And if you're quite a healthy and healed individual, then this might just be a really good pat on the back to go, now I can see why this is happening, and I can make sure that I continue down this realm. All right, so we can't have this conversation about the impact of trauma on who we're attracted to without discussing our nervous system. Now, I'm not going to get into some scientific conversation right now. I'm just going to give you little pieces, just stay kind of surface level on this, but just give you, just for the conversation of attraction, right? We're not discussing science so much as the attraction, but we can't have the conversation without discussing a little bit of the nervous system. So basically, our nervous system is the major controlling and regulatory communicating kind of body within us, right? It dictates and sends all the signals throughout the system of the body, all right? And it's basically the center for all of our mental activity, for all of our thoughts and our learning and our memory. And basically the nervous system is responsible for regulating and maintaining homeostasis. This is the key function that I want to focus on with you guys in this conversation around the relationship between trauma and attraction. And basically, I want you to think about homeostasis as, the key here, right? So when we have a traumatic event happen in our lives, basically it pushes our nervous system, that's regulating the control center, sending all the signals to the body and what we should be doing, and it's all the connection points, right? It's those traumatic experiences actually push the nervous system outside of its ability to really regulate itself. Okay, and so that what happens is, if we've had some really traumatic experiences, our nervous system stops having that real strong ability to really regulate itself in healthy ways, and that shows up as a lot of us having those experiences and those unhealed traumas affecting our nervous system. We kind of get stuck in the fight or flight kind of mode, right? We kind of get that button stuck on, and we get kind of overstimulated and unable to kind of calm ourselves. And so what happens as a result is we get stuck in a system of emotions. And those emotions tend to be things like anxiety and anger, panic, hyperactivity, and basically keeping us in this reactive mode, all right? Now, this becomes, so like if we think about homeostasis, right? So homeostasis is self-regulating, right? It's a self-regulating process that is here to maintain health and stability, and it's really here to adjust to any conditions that will allow us to survive, okay? And so if homeostasis within ourselves is successful, it means that we survive, and if it's unsuccessful, it could result in some sort of disaster or death, right? And so it's a very important system of a human being, is that homeostasis. Now, here's where the dysfunction occurs. If Mia as an individual has had some really big, challenging, traumatic experiences that are left unhealed, that what that does is over time that creates that dysfunction in my nervous system where it's unable to regulate itself in a healthy way, and instead it starts to fall into those hyper vigilant kind of ways of being where I'm stuck in reaction mode. It's like the on button is on, it's not coming off, and I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety and anger and stress and all of that instability, right? Instability. And basically from that place, our homeostasis tends to be dysfunctioning. So instead of a healthy individual who is self-regulating its own system at a healthy level, creating healthy and true emotions to the experiences and the conditions of my life, versus somebody who's got these traumatic experiences, the nervous system is deregulated and basically homeostasis malfunctions. And what it starts to do is it keeps you at those it keeps you recurring in those anxiety, anger, all of those kind of reactive kind of modes of being. Okay, now, I hope you're getting this. Tell me if this doesn't make sense and I'll try and explain it in a better way, right? But why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this is the basis of what we find attractive. Now, what our body is always trying to do is keep in homeostasis. If we are generating those negative emotions, we're stuck in reactive mode, our homeostasis, it starts to meet that, right? It just wants to stay anxious. It wants to stay in anger. It wants to stay, hyper vigilant and hyperactive, right? And that becomes the norm. Now, this is why we are attracted to things that we're attracted to things that keep us maintaining the same, right? Homeostasis. And so if our internal same is anxiety, anger, rage, fear, right? Reaction all the time, instability, right? That's why we end up attracting in our external world, or being attracted to in our external world, people who generate those same emotions within us because of their behaviors, right? Maybe they're unavailable, maybe they are unpredictable, maybe they're unattainable, right? And basically that gives you the experience of this lack of safety, and it keeps you perpetuating the cycle of anxiety and anger and all of those things that you have going on because you have a malfunctioning nervous system, right? One that is trapped in the traumas of the past and keeping you the same. So on the flip side of that, a healthy individual may have had a lot of traumatic experiences, but they've done the work to heal themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They've been able to re-regulate their nervous system and basically get it back into health, so that if it's reactive to something, it's reactive to something that needs to be reacted to in the moment, but it's not living in those heightened emotions and those that anxiety, right? And that anger and all those more unpredictable or negatively affecting reactive kind of emotions. Instead, it can draw upon those if necessary, if the environment calls upon it, but instead it's keeping itself in states of calmness, peace, love, self-honoring and self-respecting. It's shifted, right? It's valuing itself. And it, in turn, what that healing process does is allow your nervous system to gain back its ability to regulate itself in homeostasis at a much more normal level, right? Again, and when you're in this place, right? When you have a healthy nervous system, when you are self-regulating homeostasis at a really healthy level, at a healed level, basically, again, you're attracted to things that match what your system is set up to stay stable with. So when you're healthy and healed, you'll be repelled by people who are unpredictable, who are unattainable and unemotionally available, right? What you'll do, because they'll trigger emotions within you that you realize are reactive, that aren't healthy, that aren't safe. And when you are a healthy individual, you will be attracted to people who match those generating those emotions within you that are calm and peaceful, stable, loving, valuing, respecting, trusting, right? And that's because it'll match your relationship with yourself, right? Because you've done the work to heal past traumatic experiences so you can be fully present to the moment and have your full system working brilliantly, right? And that is basically what we want to look at. Now, tell me, hit me, if you feel like this is resonating with you. If you'd like me to explain anything a little bit better for you, please let me know, because the purposes of these messages is to really just empower you with the knowledge of all aspects of who you are, all right? So that you can be at choice point, right? From this conversation, if you're somebody who has had a lot of trauma, who hasn't known how to heal physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, basically I'm just giving you the key of awareness that goes, okay, if I want to change who I'm attracted to, the quality of relationships I keep co-creating, the life that I'm living, the emotional states that I keep operating in that are less than conducive with me living a fulfilling and happy existence, then I can now have the key to understand what's going on a deeper level within me, that now I can go on the pathway and the journey of healing in the ways that I need in order to take back control of my system and therefore my external results. Okay, and so This is the work that I do. I help people heal from the traumas of the past so that they are no longer perpetuating those cycles of pain and projection in their external world, so that they can actually have like a seriously fulfilling relationship and life, right? And get to know and live from who they actually are, you know, rather than be in that reactive mode that so many of us are, because we just don't understand what's going on a deeper level. All right. So I hope that this is resonating with you guys. I definitely want to check in with you guys and see who's been able to join me. So drop me some comments. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. And I think I got some stars. So I can't wait to see who's sending me stars today. I so appreciate you guys. If you want to contribute to these messages and you feel called to, a great way to support is to send these stars through, which let Facebook know that you value this content so it gets out to see more people, and I'd be forever grateful to expand our beautiful community with you. All right. Okay. And please do share this message if you know anybody in your life who could benefit from it. Let's check in. I have got Jean in the house, and Daryl and Heath and Debbie and Samuel and Data, hey, from Dallas, Texas in the house. I love it. And Samuel saying great words. Thank you, Samuel. And always, I love it. You're from North Wales, God's country. Learning, hoping you're okay from last week, sending blessings. Thank you so much, Samuel. I so appreciate you. And thanks for checking in. Yes, I am doing much better. Out back on my walks. For those of you who want to know what the hell happened, you can watch my last Facebook Live where I spoke into something pretty scary that happened. And basically, I'm going to town with learning, taking a self-defense course. So I'll let you guys know how I find that, and definitely give you some recommendations when I've gone through it and had some experience with it, and see if it's valuable for you as well. But thank you for that check-in, Samuel. I appreciate you. And keep those walking sticks in your grasp. Yeah, I will. I'm going to get one. And I'm being lonely lately. Crazy, Vanessa. I'm okay being lonely lately. Oh, I like that. You know, because, one of my favorite quotes to think about is, that loneliness is the absence of others, but loneliness is the absence of the self. Aloneness is the absence of others. All right. So basically what that highlights is that aloneness is super healthy and allows you to connect with yourself, right? You're not absent. But when we get stuck in states of loneliness, what we're really doing is we're focusing on what's missing. And when we focus, if we're physically alone, but we're focusing on what's missing, how we miss other people, we'll generate that feeling of loneliness. Doesn't always feel that good, right? But on the flip side of that, same person being alone, but basically realizing that their self is present, right? The others might not be, but the self is. It gives you this totally different experience of being by yourself, all right? So that's what I'd probably say. If you're okay being lonely, it'd be more that you're connecting with yourself and you realize that aloneness you can actually have a deeper connection with yourself. So you're not missing connection. That's basically the shift. I absolutely love that. Data, #winning, #Charlie Sheen. I love it. Awesome. And Dean's here as well. And Samuel, it's me that's wrong, not them. I get it. Yeah, absolutely. Taking back the power, right? Because none of us want to stay stuck in the victim mentality. Yes, there have been terrible things that have happened to us that have been outside of our control. We absolutely need to have compassion for ourselves. But we also need to move forward, and we need to take back the power. When we feel helpless and focused on life happening to us, we miss the opportunity to create the life that we want, right? And so all of these conversations are basically to help you to put another tool in your tool belt to go, I can take the power back, become the leader of your own life, right? And the moment you make that shift from being the victim to being the creator of your own life is the moment you start living your own life, right? So I'm always saying, don't give your power away, right? How do you recapture that power? And a lot of our traumatic experiences, I look at pieces of our power being trapped in these past experiences. So it's not a scary place to go back in time and clear and heal those from those places. It's actually super empowering, because what you do as you go through the journey of that, and this is the work that I do with people, is you go back and you recapture and reclaim that power, and you get to live in the present moment rather than in the past, or rather than getting anxious about what is to come. All right, so there's a lot of power in that. So I love that, Samuel. And Elias is here as well. And Daryl, sounds like those people who have PTSD. Absolutely. You know, that's one of the labels of our traumatic experiences, and it can be healed. So yeah, absolutely. And Samuel, I'm loving that you're finding truth here. And Samuel says, I have PTSD. I have been able to manage that with Vanessa's help over the years. Hope she can help you too. Samuel, you are so, so kind, and I'm so grateful to know that, my friend. And so much love coming at you on your healing journey. Thanks for being such a great role model and showing people what is possible. I love that. And Judy is sending me stars. You're on a 2-week streak, it says. So thank you for keeping consistent with those stars. I absolutely so appreciate any of you guys who've been sending those stars. Thank you so, so, so much. It really does help in what I'm doing and what I'm creating for you guys. And I've got a ton coming up that I can't wait to share with you. And Samuel, I'm a softie, not aggressive, but too soft. That's not good either. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you've got to, I forget who said it, and I'm going to butcher the quote, but it's basically to have a soft front and a strong back, right? It's like the combination, the integration. Like, we don't want to be all hard, but we don't want to be all soft too. We've got to have the combination so that we can draw upon those tools as necessary. When our environment calls to be softer and, you know, in that state of being, then that's what we do. When our environment calls for us to have a stronger backbone, right, and have some strength, that's what we do. And the purpose of this message, right, is to allow you to realize the power of the nervous system controlling all of that, right? It's your reaction to the environment, whether it's true and really called for in the moment, or if it's, you know, you're hyperactive in reaction mode because of the unhealed traumas of the past, right? So there's a lot to be said with that. Love the journey and love your awareness in recognizing, oh, you know what? I've been being too soft. I'm getting taken advantage of in areas where I really need to step up and step forth with some strength here. All right. And you can start to go on that journey of balancing. Remember, the number one, the first ever step of any breakthrough or transformation is always awareness. You know, if you can't see where you are on the map, you're never going to have a chance to get to where you want to get to, right? So awareness is key. So I acknowledge and honor you for that, my friend. I'm a legend in the gym, but soft outside. I love it. You know, use some of those muscles where you need. Yeah, absolutely. Balance. And oh my God, so true. You're a legend, obviously. I appreciate that, my friend. Coming right back at you. And Ori, how do you know when you have healed your past? Oh, what a great question. Firstly, I would say that there's always extra elements and layers of your healing process. I don't believe that it's just as black and white as you're healed or you're not healed, right? You're traumatized or you're healed. Like, I don't think it's black and white like that. I believe that there are always evolving layers of our healing process. For me personally, I can say that I have thought I've healed particular moments in the past, but then there's been another layer, in my future that just needs, it's like that next revolution of that healing process. All right. So I'll just say that to start with. And I would say that it's your relationship to those past experiences that will determine whether or not you have healed or not. So what do I mean by that? So, for example, I work with a lot of individuals. When I work on the one-to-one level, the first thing that I get people to do is fill out a very detailed questionnaire for me, which basically tracks through their entire history from the day they were born all the way up till now. And basically what we do is I'm drawing out their history and being able to like pinpoint the traumatic experiences, the impactful people that they need to reclaim power with, or circumstances. And basically from that place, we address those and we look at what is my relationship with those things now, right? How do I feel about those? What emotions are triggered? Do I want to run away? Am I reactive? Am I fearful? Am I angry? Is it, and we look at also how those emotions are coming up and being reflected in their everyday life in unhealthy ways, right? In ways that they feel out of control of. And so basically, how you can see if you've healed is, has that relationship to those past traumas shifted? So when I work with individuals, and I've worked with individuals who have had some of the most traumatic experiences, from horrific rape to being trapped in cults, and our everyday sort of traumas and different experiences that have impacted us on an individual level, right? And so basically coming from those experiences, like I have seen some of the most horrific, and I have watched people come from like rage and anger that feeds into every other area of their lives that they feel like they can't even control, and they stop themselves from being in a relationship because they're terrified of becoming out of control and hurting somebody, right? Because of the unhealed traumas. And I have gone through the processes of taking them through the healing process to get them to a place where now they've channeled that anger. It's no longer reactive. Now they're in control of that energy, and they actually rechannel it into a passionate cause, a way of making sure that people don't have to experience what they experienced, right? And so now it becomes a productive state of being. Now it becomes a productive emotion and energy that they're utilizing to actually help and contribute to society, rather than be out of control and feel damaging to it. All right, so that's just an example, but it's your ability to relate back to those circumstances. So in that example, this person is no longer, getting into a fit of rage and, how could this happen? And now they can look at it more peacefully and calmly, but in their power. They've reclaimed that power and they're in control of it, all right? And they're directing it in really healthy ways that are fulfilling to that individual, that are meaningful to that individual, all right? So that's just an example there. So I hope that helped, and I so appreciate your question, Ori. Thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you back again soon. And Data, what about the attraction of opposites and those that struggle with attracting who they are very attracted to? How does that relate to this? Yeah, so attraction of opposites. Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about is, I'm talking about on the nervous system level, and I'm talking about homeostasis, keeping us regulated in healthy, productive emotions that reflect the circumstances in our external world, right? We're not hypervigilant, hyperactive, and we're always like anxious and we're always angry, and right, and like we're trying to stay in homeostasis with that. So therefore we're attracting people who operate and behave in ways that keep us anxious and angry and, unstable. Now we're in a regulated system, right? And that where it's not about, we just attract people who are the same as us. What we're doing is we're attracting people who behave in ways that generate really healthy emotions within us, right? That alert us to, hey, this person values me, they respect me, and basically they're doing that for themselves as well, right? So that person could be very much opposite to you, right? And we can talk about the masculine, feminine energies and how that captures attraction, and that's how I've spoken so many times to you guys about attraction. But today's focus, I just wanted to make more on the nervous system and its impact with trauma and our healing, healthy ways of being. So you're still going to be attracted, like opposites still attract, but you're not going to be attracted to people who create an unsafe environment for you physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. That's the basis of it. All right. And then the other part of your question is when we struggle to attract those that we're very attracted to. I would say that when we are healthy, we're attracted to other people who are healthy as well. And oftentimes, like that attraction, it's not going to be something that we're desperate for, right? Like if we're really attracted to somebody and we just can't seem to attract their attentions back, I would actually say that that could be a result of a dysregulated nervous system, right? Where you're going for the unattainable potentially. The person who isn't attracted to you, you're trying. It's almost like it keeps you in that state of anxiety, right? It's keeping you in those emotional states based on your traumas, all right? And when you are healthy, healed, not reactive to the past, not anxious about the future, but fully present to the moment, and you might get an attraction to somebody who might, whoever they are. And if they are not reciprocating that attraction, basically from that place, you probably won't waste your time there, right? If you're a healthy, self-valuing, self-respecting, loving individual who knows what you have to offer, who values, others and keeping in a healthy state with others as well, like you're just going to see that as, okay, not a match, right? And it's not going to be an obsessive thing, right? Which would be if you have unhealed traumas. And you've got to look at it this way, right? If you're somebody who feels as though you're attracted to these people who are never attracted to you, you've got to ask, what is happening for you? What's happening? What sort of states of being does that recreate for you? Question, could this be tied to some unhealed traumas? Why would I continue to go after people who reject me, right? What is that, right? And I would take responsibility for that. It's not about, so this is where people go wrong, right? Because people get stuck on, oh, I just need to become the kind of person that they're going to be attracted to, right? Instead of, and basically try and mold themselves to get somebody, and they're not realizing that they're never going to be happy, right? Because they haven't changed and reset the system. So even if they change themselves and they follow all the dating advice and they manage to manipulate this person that wouldn't have been attracted to them into a relationship, basically that's not going to be sustainable for them because they haven't changed and reset the nervous system. They're still after being rejected, the feeling that comes with being anxious about whether you can keep this person or not, the anger that comes, the unpredictability. So it's still that system that is at play, all right? And so it's a really great question that I'm so grateful that you brought to the surface for us all. I so appreciate you co-creating this space for me, and I hope that was of value. So love it. Thanks, Data. And Ed, there's more options in Soothe, just saying. There's more options in Soothe. Just saying. I have no idea I'm not picking up what you're putting down for a moment there, Ed. But you let me know so I can understand what you're pointing to. I would so appreciate that. And I love you being here as well, my friend. And Sherry's here as well. And Daryl, I heard loneliness is the absence of contributing value to someone. Ooh, I love that. And what I would say about that, because a lot of us can get caught up in low self-worth, right? Where we think we have to do something in order to be of value. I would add to what you just said, because I think there's so much juiciness in that, Daryl. I would say that if loneliness is the absence of contributing yourself to someone, right? So your true who you are is the value, right? It's not like you doing something that they perceive as valuable or you having to be a certain way, but just contributing yourself, right? Connecting as you are with someone. I love that. That's such a great quote. Awesome. And Aaron is here as well. And Samuel, very true. I've had trauma that would disturb most, but I'm able to navigate it. That is awesome. It's being able to frame that experience. Absolutely. So the processes that I go through, I take different angles, right? We want to take multiple perspectives, multiple different angles. We want to go to war with it, right? Not just take one strategy. And so basically, being able to go back in time through processes to reintegrate those parts of you, right? As the adult that you are now, and definitely, like you're saying, be able to reframe it and take the wisdom and take back your power from those circumstances. Absolutely. Love it, Samuel. And Ori, thank you for the answer. Very helpful. I'm so grateful to hear that, Ori. Thank you for your question and thanks for showing up today. And Goldie, hello to you. And Daryl, you sent me 99 stars. Thank you so, so much. I think it was Daryl. Was it Daryl or was it Samuel? Gosh, I don't know. Hang on. I'll be able to tell you in a second. It was Daryl. Thank you so much, Daryl. I so appreciate you for contributing to this message. Such a gift you guys are giving me with your stars. So thank you so, so much. And also contributing your questions and your comments. You are so appreciated. I love getting to interact. I love getting to co-create this space with you. And I would absolutely love if you want to share this message with anybody that you feel could benefit from it as well. And Samuel says, you're such a good coach, sending blessings. Thank you so much, Samuel. Blessings received and right back at you. So appreciate that. And that is my message for you guys today. So I hope that it just allowed you to reflect back, take a higher level of control over who you're attracting, how you're living your life in reaction mode or in a really healthy, stable mode. And remember, if you're really attracted to the unattainable, unpredictable, unavailable, right? You really want to look at that because that's recreating an environment where you feel rejected, anxious, angry, all of these different emotions that are reflective of unhealed traumas, right? Because the healthy individual is repelled by the unavailable, unattainable, and, whatever the other word I said, whatever, right? We're just repelled by that. We're attracted to people who value us, respect us, understand us, because we value, we respect, we understand ourselves, right? And so we want to maintain that, right? That's very attractive, right? And, we don't want the unpredictability, unavailability, right? We like that would put us into states of to that environment because it's unsafe. We'd feel angry and anxious and all those things that just don't feel good for us to be staying in reaction mode, right? And so look at this and look at who you're attracted to. If you're not happy about it, if you're not happy about the relationship dynamics you're co-creating, then the good news is the key's in your hand. And if you would ever like support, this is the work I absolutely love to do. There's nothing more meaningful to me than helping people progress into who they actually are, right? The message I leave you guys with every single day is the work that I'm on a mission to do, which is to help you to honor your authenticity, to deepen your intimacy, and to contribute your gifts meaningfully and purposefully. That's what's available to each and every one of you. And I so appreciate you guys. And Phil, thank you for your contribution. You're so welcome, Phil. I'm really grateful to know that this contributed to you, my friend, and always good to see you. And Samuel, I've a lot of work to do. Thanks, Coach. You're welcome. I love it. And the work is empowering. Every step you take towards the work that is necessary and required for your healing and your happiness is basically another step towards your potential, your empowerment, your freedom, your fulfillment, right? So don't shy away from this work, right? It is the stuff that sets you free, all right? And there's nothing better than that. All right, that's it from me today, guys. Again, please do share this message. Thank you to my star senders. Thank you to my contributors with your questions and your comments. And I cannot wait to see you guys really, really soon. Much love.